So what we just saw is the DCS Eurofighter announcement trailer, A Coming Storm. It's about 2 minutes long and it's pretty freaking fantastic. And what it really drops is the fact that Heatblur is now working with True Grit to put together the Eurofighter for DCS World. I guess it was just too much of a handful for the guys at True Grit by themselves. And now Heatblur is part of the development of the Eurofighter for DCS, which is absolutely fantastic news. There is no better developer in all of DCS outside of Heatblur, if you ask me. These are the guys that are responsible for the Viggen and the F-14 Tomcat modules for DCS, both of which are fantastic. So that is the coolest news, I think, of the past week. So I will definitely throw a link to this in the video description as usual, so you can check it out for yourself. Next up, Greg at Reflected Simulations posted this video that's about 13 minutes long. And basically what it says is, as the latest DCS update, 2 of my missions are now part of the Heatblur F-14 Tomcat module. These missions are teasers of my 2 F-14 campaigns, Zone 5 and Fear the Bones. Check out the video to see what it's all about. The video itself is about 13 minutes and 23 seconds long, and it's basically Greg showing you what you can expect from these 2 missions, which is pretty cool. And they do make a nice teaser for his campaigns, all of which are usually fantastic. So I'll definitely throw a link to this in the video description as usual, so you can check it out for yourself. Next up is the latest from RedStar Simulations, the guys that are responsible for the MiG-17F for DCS World. Basically, they just go on to say, we're making progress. Enjoy these early renders of the cockpit of our MiG-17F for DCS. And then there's a couple images. Nothing super duper, but it does go to show that the progress is moving along rather well. I'll throw a link to this in the video description as usual, so you can check it out for yourself. There's another post from Greg over at Reflected Simulations. He goes on to say, UK voice needed. Hi all, I'm working on an epic multiplayer mission. Dozens of slots on each side, PvP and PvE. All kinds of missions to choose from with fully voiced controllers too. For this, I would need someone from the UK who could record approximately 30 lines for me in old RAF style. Please shoot me a message if you'd like to help and send me a short recording of your voice. Many thanks in advance. I was actually supposed to help out at one point too. I just didn't have the time to do it. Greg is pretty cool about letting people help him with these campaigns. I believe it was the P-47 campaign he needed some help on before, but he's always looking for people. And definitely find this post on Facebook. I'll throw a link to this in the video description as usual, so you can head on over there and get a hold of Greg if you want to help out. And definitely give him a hand. Next up, Team Fusion Simulations has come out with another developer diary, this time for July. They go on to say patch 24 is releasing this week. Here is a quick change log. Now there's a bunch of fixes and improvements, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing because it would take me literally a while. But all of these missions that are listed here have been fixed or modified in some way. They go on to talk about a new printable engine tables PDF is going to be included as well. And then on to the VR news. Our VR team are working hard on making a brilliant VR experience on release. We're really happy with the progress to date. We recently also shared some photos of the reworked Spitfire cockpit, which I showed here in the Flight Sim News a while ago, with new 3D components which will give VR users a better visual experience when the big VR update arrives. And then they go on to say, here are the work in progress images, one of 2 of the right side of the Spitfire cockpit. With many of the existing aircraft already having 3D cockpits, most of this work towards VR implementation is complete. And then they talk about aircraft code improvements. All RAF and Luftwaffe aircraft codes have been corrected, revised, and improved. WIST players may not have noticed inaccuracies we had, and these will be fixed as soon to be released update. And then there's a couple of images here basically they're detailing what the images are by number, which I'll show you in a second. And then audio update. We've recently released a work-in-progress video of the improvements to the Spitfire in cockpit engine sounds. Our sound engineer is currently working on a number of areas in the game to bring to the community an improved audio experience. Keep a lookout for more updates in this area as we include updates as they are completed. And then if you missed it, there's a YouTube video you can click right there. And then they talk about single-player news. 8 new single-player RAF Spitfire 10 mission campaign is currently in development. This will be released as a free update for all owners of Cliffs of Dover Blitz once it's complete. This campaign will follow number 610 Squadron as it faces the first week of Luftwaffe offensive against Kent, with most missions based on actual dogfights and raids. Check out the action in our latest video release promoting this exciting new campaign. And then they talk about the True Sky and 4K graphics update. Work is coming along nicely on the future implementation of True Sky, 4K landscapes, and 4K aircraft externals. We will be releasing work-in-progress images very soon. We hope everyone's staying safe in these times and look forward to seeing you in the Cliffs of Dover Blitz and Desert Wings to Brook Skies. Regards, Team Fusion Simulations team. And then here are the images. And this, I believe, is the right side of the Spitfire cockpit work in progress. Not bad at all. I like how over on the left, I could see the reflection of the back of the seat in those gauges. That's a rather nice detail. Those are the little things I think when I jump into a cockpit in a flight sim and I see little things like that, that really pulls me in more, you know? Makes me feel like I'm actually part of that environment. Very cool stuff. And there's a little bit more detail. And again, this is work in progress. And then I guess these are the old codes and these are the corrected codes. And not sure what that is. But they are images connected to this post. So I will definitely put a link in the video description as usual so you can check it out for yourself. All right, good friend of the channel, Iain Christie is at it yet again with another fantastic video as always. This one is called It's Not You, It's Me, Getting Triggered in the Ah Dang Valley.
Here, to find the target 1 zone and to unhide it for a minute. And then you can see that we have placed it beside.
Overall, it's another fantastic video from Iain. I highly recommend checking it out. He does a pretty good job of going over some of the mission editor stuff when it comes to triggers. I did a video like this, God, a couple years ago at this point that did some basic stuff, but I think what Iain does here is really cool. And if you're looking for more information on how to utilize the crazy hard to use mission editor, this is definitely a step in the right direction. It's about 15 minutes and 46 seconds long, and I will definitely throw a link to this in the video description as usual so you can check it out for yourself. Alright, and in the weekend news update from the guys at Eagle Dynamics, they just posted Zemke's Wolfpack, the 56th Fighter Group, was one of the most famous fighting units of the USAAF during World War II. Flying the P-47 Thunderbolt throughout their time stationed in England, the group had more ace pilots and destroyed more enemy aircraft in combat than any other group. Basically, this is a plug for Greg's fantastic Wolfpack campaign, and there's a link as well that you can click that'll take you right on over to their store to get your hands on it. Next up, more on the Mosquito. We're improving the external model using the newly acquired blueprints. Improving 3D modeling techniques have allowed us to include finer details. As a result, the smallest rivets, welds, and fabric seams are visible. At early access stage, DCS Mosquito will have different skins available, including those used in the famous Operation Jericho. The remainder of the work will be focused on finalizing the bulged bomb bay fairing and hydraulic bomb doors, the wing pylons, and external fuel tanks. This will allow DCS Mosquito to carry 2 500-pound bombs internally with fins cropped to fit, plus another 2 under the wings, and then there are a couple of screenshots of the detail they're speaking of. And lastly, they're talking a little bit about the damage model on the F-16 Viper. They go on to say, we're improving the external damage model of the DCS F-16C Viper. The new damage model provides better ballistics tracking and more detailed effects to sloped sheet metal. In the interim, you may have noticed a more realistic representation of wing damage. And then again, there is a screenshot that you can check out. I will definitely throw a link in the video description to this so you can check it out for yourself. And that about does it for the Flight Sim news this week. I know it's been about a week since I posted one, but honestly, there wasn't a hell of a lot to talk about. I was ready to put one together when they made the announcement of the Eurofighter, but I really couldn't find much else to go with it. It's actually a very slow past couple weeks when it comes to news in the Flight Sim genre. But, as always, thanks so much for watching. Please do hit the like button or dislike button. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Either way, it's good for the channel, and it helps out when it comes to the YouTube algorithm. But that about does it. So until next time, guys,